Are y'all ready to get this started?
Let's go.
3, 2, 1.
Let's get it. Here we go.
Sit your ass down and get ready for the next episode of the Urban Green Room. The Urban Green Room. With your host, my girl AA and that dude D. Lewis.
Hey everyone, it's your girl AA.
What up, world? It's your man D. Lewis.
And welcome to another episode of the Urban Green Room podcast. So, a few weeks back, a couple months back, a situation happened in the Urban Green Room family. And all of a sudden, there was a Where is Walter episode that was happening. And after many text messages, a whole lot of fuckery and foolishness, and people wondering, what's going on with Walter? Where's Walter? And I thought, who would be better to explain what the fuck happened to Walter than Walter? So this episode is airing our dirty laundry. We're going to talk about toxic relationships and what the fuck happened to Walter. So this way, D and I don't have to explain it to anyone. You can tell everyone what the fuck happened and where we're at right now with this whole situation. So, where do we even begin, gentlemen? Shall we start at the beginning?
Let's do it. By the way, as you can see, everybody, Walter is fine.
Yes. Yeah. Alive and well. And living his best life at this very moment.
At this very moment, this nigga is getting it in. So, yes.
Just like we knew and assumed he would be. So let's start at the very beginning. Earlier this year, a relationship started here in the Urban Green Room podcast, which D and I are not matchmakers. You can ask us about any of our friends, and we will gladly point you to connect with them on your own. But anyway, love blossomed in the Urban Green Room.
Against my will.
Yes.
Against her will. Against everybody's will.
Our better judgment, it happened. So, Walter, how was it being in a relationship during COVID?
I mean, that's a difficult question. Well, not really. I'm gonna be honest. Like, everything was cool. It really was. It was more than I had anticipated, and the lady that I was interested in was everything that I thought she would be. So the COVID shit, it didn't have anything to do with much of anything. The difficulty was, at the time when it started, I was in Cali and, she was in a different state. So that was a difficulty, but we finally, linked up after this COVID kind of held all that shit up. So we finally got to a place where we could make our worlds collide, and we got together. And when we got together, it was everything that I thought it would be. And
so hold on right there. It's everything you thought it was gonna be, right?
Yeah.
Because I saw the pictures. The world saw the pictures.
Yeah.
And I think when you guys announced that you were a couple, I think that's the first time that I actually realized that you were in a relationship. Like, I had heard that we're talking. I didn't think it was serious. But then I see, on social media, I feel like once you plug it on social media, it becomes official. So it looked like the relationship was headed in the right direction.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was. And it was. And then some sliz happened, and then it went.
So let's talk about the slizisms, right? Let's talk about that, because D and I know you.
Right.
Your friends and family know you.
Right.
It I guess, how well was the communication with this young lady? And we're going to keep her name out of it because she's not here to give her side of the story.
Sure.
Nor do I think she wants to give her side of the story. So we're just going to leave it as is. The young lady, how well was your conversation with her? Like, how, because of the distance, did you feel like you actually had an opportunity to really connect on a deeper level because it was a lot of, telephone and Skyping and Zoom kind of conversations?
Good question. Like, that's what surprised me about everything. AA was the connection, even though we were 1,000+ miles apart, even, just via phone and video chat, the shit felt more than what it was. And well, not more than what it was, but it was, what I mean by that is it was like we was in the same room, in the same space, So that's what my main attraction was to her, was that, even though I'm in Cali and she's where she is, it was, like talking to somebody that's in the same space with you. So that wasn't the issue. The communication was fine. The problem.
I'm a beg to differ.
I lost my phone.
So we're going to get to that.
We didn't set it up. So
yeah, we're going to get to that. So
everything going smooth with this young lady. Everything is smooth. Everything is straight. And then it wasn't. So what happened? Let us know what happened. Tell us the story. Tell the world the story.
Well, let's back up. Before you tell the world the story of what we call a classic slizism, classic sliz behavior, classic water, mishap. Yeah. Let's start where we feel it all went bad.
Okay.
So, D and I D was first. D starts receiving some text messages and some phone calls. So D, why don't you start right there?
Well, I started getting some messages asking, have I spoken to Walter? And I was like, the first one I got, I was like, yeah, nah, it's been a few days, but at that point, I think it might have been 3 days, like, since we talked, but that ain't right. Shit. We just talk like once a week, if something going on, then, we'll talk more than that if we need to. But yeah, I was like, nah, I ain't heard from him. And the reply was, well, it's been a couple days and he ain't called me and he ain't picking up the phone and I don't know where he at, so I'm looking for him. And I'm like, well, all right, well, shit, let me try calling him and shit. I'll try calling him, test him, see what's up, see if he get back with me. No word from Walter. No word from this nigga. So I'm like, yeah, he'll, he all right, he'll turn up. So, but she's getting really worried.
So I then, immediately after she speaks with D, start to receive the same phone calls and text messages. And I'm like, well, I get it that you guys talk every day. I get it. It's new love. You talk every day. There's a pattern. But I'm pretty sure he's okay. Give him a couple days and he should resurface.
So her exact words was like, yeah, he'll do this. He'll dip out for a few days and then he'll be back. It's like, all right. Just relax. It ain't no big deal.
So fast forward a week.
Oh, shit,
Let's go that far? We're going to go a week. Because it was also my birthday weekend.
It was.
So I think I was showing empathy because it was my birthday weekend. And we also taped the episode of...
Did the last letter.
the last letter, but we also did the episode of Discreet.
Be Discreet.
Be Discreet.
With the sex toy.
Yes, and it was my birthday weekend.
Yeah,
so,
no, by the way, let me let y'all know right now, that Be Discreet shit, that was awesome. That was
good.
Yeah.
I'm happy you liked it.
75%. I was rolling.
So, yeah, Be Discreet was awesome. However, during Be Discreet, my phone was going off with this young lady all weekend long. So there was nothing logical that I couldn't get her to a logical level. Everything was emotionally based. And it wasn't even manageable. It was so far to the left that I couldn't reel her in. So I'm trying to enjoy my birthday, but I'm also trying to be a caring friend.
I appreciate that, and I'm sorry for that.
No worries. I was just like, I'm pretty sure Walt's okay. But to the extent of what happened in a week, of what she did to find you, became a little alarming to everyone.
So a week turned into 2.
Yes.
2 turned into 3.
So
3 turned into 4. So we
within
talking
that time. But this is where it got real crazy. Within that time, there were social media posts. There were
tons of
police reports in several states of you being missing. There were alleged misconducts. There were police reports on your history being pulled up. There was allegations that DNI were withholding information from her of your whereabouts. There was the connecting with all of your Facebook friends and family.
His niece, aunt, wanted to get in touch with his mom.
She wanted to get in touch with your mom, who she had never met.
So she fell out with the niece and the aunt.
Yes.
She fell out with them like it was, that was bad.
So let's slow down a little bit.
So she's mad at everybody at this point. She is fuming.
She is on fucking level 12 out of 10.
Oh, man, I was going to say 20.
20 out of 10.
Facts.
The behavior was psychotic, erratic, and downright scary. And I am steadily trying to get her to just think a little bit.
We all are at that point.
Yes.
I mean, even, Denise was like, yo, he dip out, man. He do this. We not really that worried right now. So it turned into don't nobody care about Walter. We all don't care about him, and we ain't shit. If we supposed to be his family and we ain't out there looking, and I'm sitting there like, what the fuck you want me to do? I'm not about to get on the plane to go look for this nigga when I know he's straight.
But this was the question.
Straight,
we didn't know where the hell you were. So how are we going to get on the plane and come and find you?
She said
there's
you in
5
one state.
There's 5 states that have missing people reports on you at this point. I was like, where the fuck am I supposed to look at him? 5 states.
Yeah.
5 states.
Yeah, you got about, is it 5 or
it was 5.
4?
California, Arizona, Colorado,
Vegas,
Nevada. What was the other one? She put out one other because it was in the close proximity. Listen. 5 states, white police officers looking for somebody that looked like Walter. You know how many motherfuckers got pulled over because of you? You fit the description. So
anyway, that's kind of the backstory.
No, there's more.
Oh,
there's more.
But
there's
wait.
more. Yeah, but wait. There's more.
There is more.
After falling out with your family, and hearing the stories from both sides, me wanting to be the mediator, better yet, me being the big sister to everyone.
Right.
I said, what? Let's resolve this. Can we come together and just talk about this and get on the same page as to where Walter is? I tried to explain to her, I know for a fact, Walter loses his phone often. I also know, I say, well, if this is his girlfriend, she must know the current situation about the job that you were doing, as a journeyman, in your field, that
Right.
jobs, you get on jobs, you go off jobs. I said, so when money is tight and you're waiting for the next job, you kind of downscale. Like you got a reserve. That's just being responsible. But I also told this young lady that the way I knew Walter felt for you, he's not ghosting you, girl. He's not. He literally legit said he loved you. And best believe when he can, he's going to reach out to you. Well, she took that to mean that you must be in a position where you can't reach out. So one, you're either dead, in the hospital, unconscious, and nobody has identified you yet, or nobody's identified your body and told anyone anything, that you have been kidnapped, that you were somewhere on the street because you're so nice that somebody drugged you and now you just out there wandering around aimlessly. There was so many funny, and I was like, no, that's not gonna happen. And she was like, how do you know? And I said, okay, first of all, we from New York. Not only that, we from Rough Buff. So we move different. And best believe we know how to take care of ourselves, because we that generation, we ain't bitch ass. There's no bitch assness about it. So I was like, even in this day and age, Walter can hold his own. So I'm pretty sure that's not the case. But because it had gone on so long, we all began to question, well, shit, maybe this nigga really is laid up somewhere and he can't get a hold of us. So not only was there missing people's reports, but she had checked the morgue in several cities in these 5 states. Hospitals.
Morgues.
Prisons. Because of your alleged history, you could be in prison. So she done called everywhere looking for you. Got all these people involved looking for you. Created a mass hysteria on her Facebook page surrounding the disappearance of her boyfriend. And all I kept saying was, if this man loves you, he's going to find a way to communicate with you. Hell, if he can bum a cigarette from somebody, he can ask for a cell phone real quick.
Be going too far.
To talk to her. But the point being is, if you trust him, you must believe the words that he said to you, and that as soon as he can, he'll reach out to you. So I'm going to stop right there because Dee said I'm going too far.
Yeah, Sliz was being sex trafficked. We're going to leave it there.
Yes, he was being sex trafficked.
So let's...
Because you must have laid it on her real good.
You was being sex trafficked,
did it too. That's all I'm going to say.
Does that happen to men?
Yes. I don't know as old as your ass, but yes, it does. It happens. Somebody might be looking for a bald, tall, dark, and handsome with a little gray in the stash. So you and Daryl, everybody else, y'all be careful. What'd he say?
What, me?
What did that? What? Remember? Hide your husbands, hide your...
And hide your husbands because they raping everybody out here.
Yeah. So, Walter, you was on that list, apparently. So
you was somewhere in somebody's basement getting raped. Mm-hmm. Okay, so, all right, so what the fuck happened to you? Where the fuck were you when all this other shit was going down?
All right, so I was working in Henderson, Nevada. The owner of the company died and his son took over. Son takes over, fucks up the whole fucking operation. I was visiting my girl at the time in her place of residence. And when I get back to Nevada, everything's upside down. So the union hall kicked us off the job and, to find the kid, the son. And basically we all out of a job. So I'm like, fuck. So I'm sitting there and I was on the phone with the young lady and I went to go do some shopping, grocery shopping. Nothing major, but we texting on the phone and yada, yada, yada. And I must have left the phone in the shopping cart. So I load up the shit, jump in the Uber, halfway to the goddamn apartment. I'm looking for my phone. I'm like, damn, where's my phone? So I had the Uber driver do a U-turn, phone's gone. So that's pretty much, I lost my fucking phone. So by the time I figure all that out, I go pick up some money, try to anyway. Hold on a second. I go to get some money and I find that whoever had my phone had been making some purchases on my dime. So I had to shut, everything down. Sorry about that.
No
I had to
worries.
shut everything down. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm sitting up here in a state where I don't know nobody. So I decided to shoot back down to Phoenix. So that's where I am right now. That's where I've been since, I don't know, January 26th. I got here the day before my son's 13th birthday. So I got down here and I'm still trying to remember because the only number I know by heart is my mom. I don't know Melodious number by heart. I don't know nobody's number by heart but my mom. But you know how mom is. Like, I talk to her when I talk to her, so I didn't think it was no big fucking deal. I didn't see the need to like reach out to her and let her know that I was okay because I knew she wasn't looking for me to begin with. The only person I knew who was going to be tripping was my girl. So I was trying to remember her number. I was fucking up her phone number by one digit. So I couldn't get in touch with her. I'm sitting up here waiting on my bank to fix my account so I can go ahead and do what I got to do to get another phone. But, 1 week turned into 2 weeks turned into 4. So I finally get everything up and I call Pooh Bear, my niece. So she like, yo, this shit is awful, dog. Like, this is bad. She didn't went ape shit. And I'm like, what? Really? Like, it's really that bad? Like, no, I can't be that. It can't be that serious. And it was that fucking serious, man. I'm like, God damn, like, I didn't know. So me being the lunatic that I am, half of me finds that attractive.
I know you do.
You know what I mean? Like, that bitch set the world on fire to find a nigga. You know what I mean? Like, she went upside down. So I appreciate her for that. A part of me does. The other part of me is like, we should have listened to the people who know me best. So that's where we at. That's what it is. But I'm alive and well. We're bugging as we speak. Hotel party, getting it in.
So being that you're at the hotel party and you're the host, where is this relationship at right now?
Oh, that's curtains. That's curtains. She's hurt, and I understand again. Her position. I'm not gonna get on here and try to act like the woman is crazy because she ain't. I do understand her position. I don't like how she went about doing things, but I do understand that she was concerned about me. I can't be upset with anyone who genuinely cares for me under any circumstance. She did some stuff that rubbed everyone, and I do mean every fucking one, the wrong way. But I can't find it in my heart to be upset with her. She didn't, in my eyes. She's an aggressive woman. You know what I mean? Like, I knew that going in. Like, she's a fucking pit bull. And she did what pit bulls do. She bit hard and she shook some shit. And yeah, that's what happened.
Thank you for letting everyone know in the Urban Green Room world that you're okay and what happened. But I wanna go a little bit deeper.
There's some questions for you.
I want to go a bit deeper.
Yeah, there's
because
let's do it.
I think, and so this is the thing. D and I were against the relationship, and not because we don't want you to find your happiness.
Right.
Because we knew the backstory of this young lady.
Right.
We were scared for her emotional state, and knowing that she was fragile. And again, I considered her a friend of mine, a little sister even, that I wanted to protect that from her. I wanted to protect her. I did not want her to get hurt. Not that I thought you were going to hurt her, but I just didn't feel she was ready for the type of relationship that you were looking for. So with that being said, we were against the hookup. I was happy for you and I hope that it worked. But in my heart of hearts, I kind of felt like it's not going to work. Something's going to happen that's going to trigger her and not in a good way. So I felt the relationship was a little toxic at times. And I wanted to talk about that because I believe, like, for the first time in a long time, the toxicity came from a female. So I wanted to talk about, like, why, even before you guys broke up, even before you went AWOL, your niece did not like her. Like, why? So your niece, who you consider like your daughter, why didn't she like her?
According to Pooh Bear, she was like, she doesn't appear to be a happy person. Like something is, what she said, the word she used was disruptive in her spirit. And I was like, whoa, that's fucking heavy. But tell me what you mean. And she was like, I scrolled through her pictures. She's never smiling. I was video chatting with Pooh Bear one day, and the young lady didn't bother to come in and, like look into the screen and introduce herself and none of that type of shit. And Ashanae took offense to that. And it wasn't just with Ashanae. She did that to my big sister too, Tanya. So there's 2 instances where she had an opportunity to like expose herself to my people, and she neglected to do so. Conversely, in talking to her, she said the exact same thing about Pooh Bear and Tanya. So it's like, I'm stuck in the middle of a rock and a hard place because I got Big Sis and Pooh Bear saying one thing, and then the woman I love saying one thing, and I just want the shit to go away. I'm like, this shit ain't that serious, nigga. Like, I'm fucking here. I'm good. Ain't no holes. I still ain't been poked. I still ain't been shot. Booty hole still intact. Like, why is we tripping? Okay. So COVID-19 is going on. So libraries out the question. So all that leaves me is to borrow somebody's phone, which I did pretty much every day for 20 some odd days. But, that's difficult because I'm fucking in a city where I don't know nobody and it is what it is. So I'll be like, yo, mind if I use your phone? I'm trying to find the nicest way to do this shit in the middle of all that's going on in the world today. I'm 6'1", 205 pounds, a Black man, and most of the people around me don't look like me. So it was hard to do that. But I would get a few people I stood out in front of Walmart, no lie, for 45 minutes, asking people to use their phone so I could remember this woman's phone number. And I remembered the area code, and I remembered the last 4 of her number. But I would get those first 3, I was getting it mixed up, so I couldn't remember it. And I was trying my best to. That was the only person I was really trying to get in touch with, because I know everybody else wasn't worried about me. Not all like that. But I knew that she would, just based off of her, just talking to her and her experiences with life. I knew that she would probably be tripping. I just didn't think it would be to that degree. So, yeah, I was trying to get in touch with her, but there was only so much I could do. Like, it was out of my hands.
So you didn't. So you probably didn't know your Facebook login or something like that either. Like when you borrowed a phone, or is that a whole nother level? Or asking somebody?
Yeah, that's a whole nother level.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I figured it out as I was saying it, but
yeah, I've never actually got in contact with her. I finally got a phone and got all my contacts downloaded, and I contacted my niece, and I had my niece text her, be like, "Yo, let her know I'm okay. Tell her to call me on this number." So that's what it was.
So, because I want to take a step back.
Go ahead.
Because, and I get it's COVID, it was difficult. You had to do what you had to do. And granted, she should have listened. But a piece of me says, like, because of the things that have happened to her, and because you know her background, do you think this was a healthy relationship to be in? Or do you like the drama that came with being with her?
There was the first part of your question. Yeah, I did think it was a healthy relationship for me to be in. I mean, because at least in my head, and I may be wrong. This may expose some of my, damage. But fuck it, it's an urban green room. We all fucked up, and to some degree, and the stuff that my ex had to experience was traumatic for sure. But I can't say that makes her a shitty person. I can't say that makes her, not fit to date and get to know someone, or even be in a relationship with. Like, I mean, I'm gonna be real. Like, she's a great woman, and she has some flaws. She's a great woman, and she has some flaws.
D got something to say.
Putting your hand in the man.
Go ahead.
Okay, I don't think that's where Pooh going here.
Well, where we going?
I'm going to ask it a little bit more specific.
Go ahead.
If I could go back in time, I swear I'd do it all differently. Love you, Tracy.
From the author that brought you the groundbreaking series, The 716, author A.A. Lewis is back with The Last Letter.
Yeah,
I'm going to say, nigga, we're not saying that she does not deserve to be in a relationship
or to find love.
To find love and none of that. She absolutely deserves to find love. I was hoping she would. The question is, do you think you was the right motherfucker to be with her for that reason?
Nah. I mean, but who am I the right motherfucker to be with? Like, I mean,
So that's where I was going, right? Because I know you my brother. We have a lot of similarities. And so I know that you are an acquired taste. The same way as I am acquired taste.
Both these motherfuckers.
Like, there's not a whole lot of motherfuckers that's built for us. So I would have probably in the back of my mind been thinking that I have to be on my P's and Q's and not my normal self. You know what I mean?
Well, right, D. And it's not like we in our heyday. This ain't 94, 95 when we was burning the town down. You know what I mean? Like, this is
right
25 years on top of that. So in my head, with all the maturing and development that I've gone through, I felt like I could, deal with that shit or be in a relationship with a woman with those issues.
Right, this is your first relationship since your baby mom's? Or second relationship since then?
Second. Yeah, because I spent like every 5 years. I take my time with the shit. You know what I mean? And you
done fucked up, right?
I was gonna have to get my motherfucking Mario Lemieux on. I was gonna have to skate. It wasn't no room for no sliz. It wasn't no room for sliz. And then sliz
showed the fuck up.
And it wasn't no room. So yeah, I fucked that up. But not really though. You know what I mean? I ain't fuck nobody.
So not really? Are you guys still friends on social media?
I don't know. I ain't been on the motherfucker. I don't know.
Because during this whole time, she blocked everybody but your ass. She was mad at all the wrong people. Like, I got blocked. People in the group got blocked. There's a little back and forth. In a sisterly, lovingly way, which also told me something else about this relationship. So I'm gonna go there since we air in the dirty laundry. She had a post on her social media page where I saw, and I laughed because it was, I'm with this man. He's saying he's gonna love me. He wants to marry me. He wants to have babies with me. And none of his friends and family are concerned about him. I'm doing blah, 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 X, Y, Z. And I feel like I was set up. I feel like they was out trying to harm me. I feel like they contributed to my heart being broken again, right? So I didn't comment because I knew exactly who it was directed towards. It was directed towards me and D. I'm not going to engage her in that level of fuckery. I'm just not. So I scroll on past, and I had mentioned to D what was on her page, though. And then D jokingly wrote something on his Facebook page.
So let me break it down for the people.
About how we were against y'all getting together. So go ahead, D.
Okay, here go the post. Him. This nigga. For those who don't know, him in this story is that nigga right there. My post read something like, him. Yo, D. Yo, D. Yo, I'm about to shoot my shot, kid. Me. Nah, nigga, don't do it. Him. Why not, yo? She fine as hell. Me. Because I don't want you to fuck this up. She is our friend. Our, in this case, is mine's and AA's. And you gonna fuck this up for us. Because you. Him. Nah, D. I'm really feeling this one, man. She make me want to put my chucks up on the wire.
Your words.
Me. Y'all both grown, nigga. Y'all gonna do what y'all do. But I said what I said. Fast forward a few months. This nigga disappeared for a couple months. Hurt. Fuck all you niggas. I'm done with all y'all. Bye. Fuck y'all. Me. I told that nigga this bullshit was gonna happen. I'm getting too old for this shit.
So we all laughed.
That was my post.
Yeah, that was a post. We're all laughing. Everybody who knows the backstory, we are all laughing. Because we knew who him was. We knew, and it wasn't just us who felt that way. Several people was like, we rooting, but this is not going to work out. And we heard it all. And we were like, we're going to wish them the best. We're going to hope the best for Walt because we love him. She's a friend of ours, so we want the best for her. We're going to cross our fingers and pray a lot for this relationship.
She said,
and when that happened, she then came on Dee's page after seeing the post and went off. And in the moment, because see, the Capricorn in me, who is always with the shits, right? Mm-hmm. And at that moment, I had to remember that I'm logged in as AA. So I have a brand that I'm not my other self at this moment. So what you gonna do? So, and then I had to remind myself, first of all, I called this woman my sister. So I'm a fix her crown because it's slipping, and I'm a adjust her slip because it's showing. And I said, let me be a big sister in this moment and correct her. Because what we not going to do is bring that bullshit here. Like, we all laughing at all the comments. Everybody was cracking up, was like, that's classic Walt, blah, blah, blah. And I said, but I don't want it to be classic Walt. We were rooting for this relationship. And I think that's the part that this young lady did not see. So I replied to her comment in a very sisterly, let me correct you manner. And her reply was, I didn't have to say anything. And at that moment, I thought she needed to be adjusted again, because now maybe while I adjusted and fixed her crown was too heavy for her to carry, or it was too tight around her head. So I'm going to adjust it one more time for her so that she now knows. And then I said what I said, because clearly she forgot that that's my husband. And what we not going to do is tell me what I'm not going to do for him. Because he's not going to argue with you like some other men have in our group. Like, we're not going to do that. I can do the back and forth with you all day long because I'm in the right. What you fail to see is you allowed your emotions to guide you in an erratic manner, which told me, Walt, at that moment, through that discussion, because she clearly dismissed me and blocked me at that moment, that there was no amount of logic that you were going to ever be able to say that was going to calm her down emotionally. And I know I said this before in one of our podcast episodes about being evenly yoked. This right here told me that there was nothing you were ever going to be able to say to win. And I don't mean win the argument. I mean win her over so that she does not go out of control the way that she did over this past month. And I think that stands true because I know that you called D and we had conversations when she went off the deep end. And there were no words that you could say that would calm her down. I'm trying to figure out, how do you feel like a relationship like that was going to last? Because as a friend, I couldn't calm her down. And typically when an older woman comes to you with some wisdom and is dropping pearls, for you to collect and to gather so that you can come to some understanding about relationships and about how you moving right now and to get yourself together. When she don't collect and she ain't want it and she was all about the fuckery, like, I don't see how you could ever combat that. So how do you see yourself being in a relationship with somebody who you're never gonna win like that?
You can't. You can't. And that's why I'm not. But you don't know till you know, right? Like, relationships are, at least in my humble opinion, it's a crapshoot, at least in my experience. 95% of the time, I'm the reason behind the bullshit. But in this particular instance, I can't really say that I'm 100% to blame. I can't even say that I'm 40% to blame. Like, some shit happened and you got to be able to deal with it. And what's crazy is, like, I told her, like, when we was just talking in the talking stage, like, sometimes shit gets chaotic for me. You know, I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know what the circumstance is going to be, but something's going to happen. And need you to be prepared for this shit. Come on, Bella. Like I tried to brace her for the slids. I didn't know what the fuck it was going to be. I knew it was going to be something. I didn't know it was going to be like losing a cell phone. Is that really a big deal? No, but
when it happens to you, it is.
Right. But when it happens to me, it is, because then it's some old bullshit and then you MIA for 4 weeks. You know what I mean? So where was I going with this?
I don't know, but it's funny.
I didn't think that I was going to win, but I did think that I could brace her and, prepare her for the inevitable, and we'd be able to weather the storm. I was wrong.
Okay, so I'm gonna touch on something AA was mentioning earlier too, because we were privy to some things, that were kind of happening, and in my mind, there's no fucking way that this was gonna be okay. Like the things that y'all were kind of going through already, or the way you were feeling at times about certain situations that y'all would try to talk through, and it just really wasn't no talking through it. There was no way in fuck in my mind that y'all was coming back from this. Like, there was no way in my mind that y'all was coming back. So the fact that this nigga crazy. Like, there's no way you should. No, I'm talking about you.
Yeah, I was like,
you crazy as fuck,
dangerous, because this bitch gonna stab him.
I'm like, I was afraid for your safety.
Why about my safety?
Shit, because somebody need to worry about it. Shit, you just losing yourself, nigga. You lost yourself for a month.
Is that the first time I lost myself for a month?
Nope.
Listen.
I knew where I was at.
But
we was all scared. People were scared because of her behavior. For a second, I was like, we're going to be on 48 hours or 2020 talking about what happened to Walt Jennings.
And y'all know Christopher Wallace ain't shit. Because he be asking them questions and shit.
Like,
when did you last talk to Mr. Jennings? And
it all started on a podcast episode.
I'm be all the way fucked up. Like, I'll be in some bad spots. I'll be in some jams, but they just jams. I ain't. You know what I mean? Like, it's
I know
jams.
that.
We know that. But this is the part that was disturbing to me, is she felt she knew more than we did. Right. And I'm going back saying to myself, but y'all only been dating for how long? Like, we've known him for years, and granted, we not intimate with you at all. The point being is we know our brother. And when I tell you he's good, trust and believe he's good. Like, we would have heard something. His mama would have reached out. Somebody would have told us something.
Right.
When it got to the point where we found out you were okay because of the grocery store incident,
Yeah.
and she said, I want to know what grocery store in what state, because I wanna buy a copy of the videotape just to prove that it was him and not somebody else pretending to be him. I was like, whoa, back up. Like, you want to do what? She was like, so call your mother-in-law to get his mother's number because the niece won't give me the number, but I need to know what grocery store. So she said, well, I'm going to Google the grocery stores. I said, in all 5 states, slow down. He okay. Ain't nobody giving away their mama PIN number for the coupons now. like, slow down. He's okay. He's going to reach out when he can. And at that point, I was like, this is a lost cause because I can't talk to crazy. Like, there's a few things you can't do.
Right.
Like, you can't cure stupid and you can't calm crazy. Right. And I felt at this moment, it was pure craziness. And I was scared not only for you when she found you, because it was going to be hell to pay, but I was scared for her and her mental state. I was really concerned.
On a real note, she really was like...
I was like, I'm concerned
she was
about
like, wasn't
my friend.
eating. She wasn't taking care of herself.
I was calling and texting
it got
to
rough
make
on her.
sure.
Like, she was like, I'm like, fuck this nigga. Like, why is
that you are okay? But this was a slap in the face to me. The slap in the face to me is when she told me she said, because literally when I'm through with the situation, I say, I'm through with the situation. And that means I'm done. Like, I don't want to talk about it no more. It's over. It is what it is. We're moving on, or I'm moving out. Like, out of the situation. I'm through with it. I'm done. She hit me with, enjoy your life. And I was like, whoa. So I tried to call her and realized that she had blocked my number. And then I tried to get on Facebook and connect with her, and I couldn't. And I was like, oh, she really meant enjoy your life. I was like, so she threw with the situation. She literally blamed D&I for setting her up, for misleading her, for not divulging information about you, for she even accused D. What did she say?
She told me I contributed to another black man damaging another black woman.
And at that point, I had lost
for breaking her.
Yes, breaking another black woman.
For breaking another black woman.
And
she told you that?
No, I saw the fucking post.
Oh yeah, that is right.
So I was done.
So okay, so after all that, she blocked everybody. She's done. I mean, relationships are ruined. People are upset. The only motherfucker ain't
people
blocked
have taken sides
because
they only know her story.
Right. The only motherfucker ain't blocked from communicating with this crazy motherfucker is Walter.
And then a couple days after that.
They a fucking couple.
Listen, she's on Facebook on Walter's page, and she says, hey, everyone.
I woke up this morning.
This is Walter's girlfriend, blank. Walter says he's okay, and he's sorry for the misunderstanding. The misunderstanding. So my reply was, fuck you and fuck Walter. And I left hers behind it because I literally meant that shit, but I knew you was okay. And I was like, fuck you and him. Because if you his girlfriend now, bitch, unblock me. Let's have a sisterly conversation. You need to apologize to some folks. Your crazy ass was in the wrong.
So after all of that, I woke up one morning to that post. And I said, you ain't gonna believe this shit. You gotta be fucking kidding me. I chose not to say shit on that motherfucker because I would have went off on every motherfucking body. How the fuck you gonna say this is girlfriend after all this bullshit you done put every motherfucking body through?
I'm through stupid.
Out of all the shit he put you through.
Fuck y'all. I can't stand. No, that's what she said.
Nigga, you was you.
You was you. We warned you. Look,
So of course you gonna think you did
boots.
nothing. You ain't gonna think you did nothing. You just being you, nigga.
Mexicans got on boots, nigga. We gave you the warning. Mexicans got on boots.
I told you, Mexicans had on boots. You didn't listen.
You out there shucking and jiving without no knife. Nigga, Mexicans got on boots.
Shucking and jiving without no knife.
And if you haven't seen Mexicans Got on Boots, it will be in the link for you guys to check out Mexicans Got on Boots. Because he literally was caught out there like he was unaware of the situation.
Right. Yeah. Like this nigga brand new.
Yeah, he ain't.
Like he ain't know what the fuck he was in.
I forgot. I was like, Mexicans Got on Boots. Yeah. I mean, that was all the way bad. On some real shit, it was all the way bad. And I feel, what's the word? Because this is a new emotion for me because I don't like. I'm sorry.
You feel regret?
But not
regret
really.
For what?
Huh?
I was like, regret for what? I don't think regret's the right word.
Well, yeah. I mean, it could. Like, I'm remorseful.
I feel regret,
but I really don't give a fuck. I mean, because I didn't do nothing wrong. All I did was lose my fucking phone.
Yo.
Everything that transpired after that,
I'm gonna let that go down like it was some Hennessy because I needed to take a drink after that one.
Goddamn, we are so much alike.
Did you just say?
I need to make this clear. Like, I feel bad that I hurt this woman. I do. All I did was lose a fucking phone. You know what I mean? So it's like, and then that ain't why we're not together.
Right. I was just getting into that. I was just getting ready to get into that piece.
Can we talk about that?
So all the drama clears.
They back together.
These motherfuckers, I guess now I couldn't even say back together because they never really broke up. This motherfucker wasn't around for her to break up.
She ain't wrong. Everybody else gotta apologize to her.
Right. Hold on. We're gonna get into that. But we can't say they back together because this motherfucker wasn't around for them to break up. So they was still together. So they together. Even after everything. So go ahead.
Yeah.
Why y'all not together?
The reason we ain't together is because she bought me a plane ticket to come out there to live with her. I was like,
oh, we getting into new territory.
Yeah, we ain't never heard this.
We getting into new motherfucking territory.
I know. Let's take it up to y'all. I mean, let's make it live.
All right.
So she bought me a plane ticket to come out there. Get this app, Cheapo Air. Get Cheapo Air. The flight was $54. So she bought me the motherfucking ticket. And I'm like, look, this ain't a good idea. I ain't got no job. You know, I got my savings, but I ain't really trying to, you know what I mean? Like, nah, I'm cool where I'm at. You know what I mean? I got a network here. I can make money if I absolutely need to make some money, I can make some money. But if I come out there with you, I don't know nobody, and I'm gonna be leaning on you. And I ain't the type of dude to be leaning on a woman. Let's get that. So she was like, nah, you know, I think that it's best for you to come out here. Basically, she ain't trust me. So that was the trust was lost. And I saw that. So
when they trust his ass either.
Huh?
He said he ain't trust your ass either.
This nigga out there losing itself. How the fuck I want to trust this nigga? Hell nah.
We need need to put you in a nursing home. You gonna be the
Right.
youngest ass motherfucker in the nursing home, but we gonna know where you at.
Put Find My Phone on this nigga shit. Like, right the fuck now.
Well, stop that motherfucker. You need to come here, baby girl. So, but you know, she wanted me in her presence. And the night before the flight, I was like, I'm not coming out there. I'm not going to do it.
She bought the ticket already?
Yeah, she bought the ticket.
This motherfucker. This nigga.
So we didn't know
hold
about
on.
that. Go ahead.
Finish this out, please.
Go ahead.
Please finish this shit.
I mean, it's finished now. So I didn't go out there. This just happened. What I was supposed to be there Wednesday. I was supposed to catch the flight Wednesday morning. That just passed.
Oh, so y'all really did break up and got back together?
Huh?
So y'all did break up and get back together?
We never
last
broke
time,
up. What's that? You gonna break up with me and I'm gone?
No. Last I knew. See, like I said, this story is new to me. Last I knew.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did skip some shit. I skipped some shit.
You skipped some shit.
So, wait, that was Sunday, right?
Yes.
Sunday was the big blowout over my brother and that statement that was made. So that was Saturday. See, I can't even remember all this shit.
So,
but the plane ticket was bought before all that.
So can we talk about the statement? Are you comfortable talking about the statement that was made?
Ooh, let's do it.
Because people are gonna see this and they're gonna think that it's one-sided. And I got receipts, everyone. I got the text messages, the inboxes, the phone log for me trying to reach out and be a friend and a sister to this young lady. And her replies and the way she moved. I was rooting for both of them. Even though I didn't think this was going to be a healthy relationship, I certainly wanted the best for you. I wanted it to last. And even up until this moment, I wanted the relationship to last because, he's my brother. I kind of want him to be happy. She's a friend. I wanted her to be happy. Up until this moment, she had my back. I had her back. Even though she cut me off, I was still rooting for her. So Go ahead and tell everyone a little bit about this statement.
All right. So her and my niece were going at it. They having this war of words via text message, emails, whatever these chicks was fucking doing. Now, mind you, I'm still in the breeze when all this shit is going on. So my ex says, well, she said, well, your grandma, talking to my niece, your grandma already lost one son, that son being her daddy. I'm just trying to look out for her. So Pooh Bear sent me all these text messages. And I read the text and I didn't pay it no mind because I knew the source that it was coming from. And I knew how that was supposed to be received. I never stopped to think about how it was received and how that affected my niece. So she lit my ass up, and yeah, that's some grimy shit. But
one quick moment. So for those of you who don't know, we've talked about the brotherhood between Dee and Walt, right? And that there's two members of this brotherhood that are missing. Daryl's brother, Mel, and Walter's brother.
Real deal.
Yeah,
Rest in power, y'all.
And both of them were brutally murdered. And their lives were cut short. So when you hear this statement that this young lady stated, it was sort of to say it to his brother's daughter. That's kind of fucked up. And even if it wasn't meant to come across in a fucked up way, but a more caring way, because words can get lost in translation when we text and, we don't hear the tone or the context in which people say it, right? So then Walt does this. Walt, take us to the next step. What did you do with that statement?
So with that statement, after realizing how it affected Pooh Bear, I did what anybody would do and be like, yo, how did you mean this to be? Like, what did you mean behind that? And she cussed me out and hung up the phone. That's yeah.
Okay, wait a minute. She cussed you out and hung up the phone on you. Yeah. So you didn't even get clarification about whether or not it was taken out of context. She meant it in a loving way. You didn't get any kind of background around that statement.
I mean, no, I did. It was just, wrapped around a whole bunch of fuck you motherfuckers and assholes and everything else. So, yeah, I mean, she did say that somewhere in there. But I got cussed out because I was supposed to. I was supposed to know. But you know how when you know, but you just need to be reassured. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you know Daryl love you, but you want to hear
D
tell you that you love him. And that was one of those situations for me. Like I knew how she meant it, but I needed to hear her say, "Look, dog, I didn't. No disrespect was, I probably shouldn't even have said nothing about it." That's what I was hoping to hear.
I thought that was
the
end of it.
Right.
But apparently not.
Right. But the next day, I think this was Sunday, after all that smoke cleared, then it was like, okay, well, you said what you said, I said what I said, and I'm cool if you cool. It was one of them things. So she was cool with that. And then, it's like in 72 hours, I'm supposed to be getting on a plane and doing that. But after all that, I was just like, nah, I can't do it. I ain't going to do that to myself. I ain't going to do that to you. And I don't think that's when I saw that that's not no good way to start any relationship. You know what I mean? Like when you want to move in and the one partner is dependent on the other financially, like, no. You know what I mean? Like, because I
volunteer she'd have kicked your ass out.
I mean, I got money where I could pay rent, but don't no woman want to come home to a dude that's been sitting up here watching Shameless all fucking day for who knows how long. You know what I mean? Because that's what the fuck I was going to be doing. I don't know when I'm going to get a job. You know what I mean? I didn't want to do that.
But
so I was like,
the way she communicates with you, like every other time is a cuss out. Like I wouldn't want to be in a situation where that's the norm. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
like I can speak from me. I don't want to come home to hostility. If I ask you a simple question, just answer it for me. Because chances are I'm not coming to you in a hostile state. Like my words will be softened. So if I ask you something, it's because I really want to know. I can't imagine being in a situation where every time I have, a question or, I want to talk to you, I'm going to get worried about getting cussed out and yelled at because I'm going to shut down at that point. Ain't no sense in having a conversation if you can't communicate with me. And that's how I felt you guys' relationship was. Like, I'm not going to say it was all the time, but certainly there were some extreme situations where, like, to me, it was unnecessary. You didn't have to cuss me out like that. You could talk to me like a grown-ass man because I'm not your kid.
Yeah.
And if that's how you talk to the people at work, then you keep that shit at work. But we ain't talking to each other like that. And I just felt like that's how it was with you guys.
Like there's like, and that got me, like, there's a whole region of women that I am never fucking with again based off of this experience. Like, there's a whole region I ain't fucking with.
The region?
Yeah, he don't want no Midwest women.
Sit on that. I ain't fucking with y'all. Don't worry about me. Fuck y'all. Can't do it. Won't do it. They too thugged out, man. They too thugged out. They worse than New York City women. I thought they were the worst. I was wrong. Way wrong.
Okay, just because we wear Timbs in New York on the East Coast don't mean we thugged out.
No, it's y'all moms. You know how y'all moms is.
No. Because see, I'm a firm believer in you can take the hardest woman and tame her with your actions and your words. And I'm going to say that because I was quick, yes, to clap back on somebody. To me, I'm the hardest chick I know. And that's saying a lot. But I've also been softened. I was also the bougiest chick I know, but I've also been softened. There's a good mixture when you find the right man. You know, because I've been independent. I've had my own. I've, had to be that woman, the strong Black woman.
For sure.
I've had experiences in life that were not nice. What I'm simply saying is when a woman is ready to, and I hate saying it this way, to be submissive. And submissive not in the way that I'm going to obey that nigga over there all 24/7. In the sense that I'm ready to be led and that I trust him because he won't steer me wrong. In that sense of the word, that I'm going to allow him and he's going to allow me to be me. So I can't come to this grown man that I'm supposed to respect and be his partner and talk to him any kind of way. He's not my child, so I'm not going to talk to him like that. He's not my coworker, so I'm not going to be disrespectful and clap at him the same way I would somebody on the street. Now, best believe when it's time to put the Timbs on, he knows I'm his ride or die. But the problem with that is a lot of women haven't found that person that they trust enough to allow them to be led. That's the issue. And that's also part of being evenly yoked. When I think about, she was not willing to trust you enough to listen to common sense for you to be able to calm her down. She was unwilling. She was going to buck at every chance. And the whole story with her and the knife, when y'all was going out to dinner, she was gonna protect your ass instead of you protecting her. Like, yeah, it's her city and she know how these clowns be acting. But my point is, she didn't have trust enough in you that you had her back. And to me, that speaks volumes of where she's at. Like, it wasn't there yet.
That was fucking scary. Melodious, that shit, that was like a 9-inch banger, dog. Like, that was Rambo with brass knuckles attached and everything. It was a banger.
It had the knuckle joints?
Yeah, you hold it by the knuckles?
It did 9 inches of cold steel, man. Like.
But see, in that situation, she the nigga. She said, here, hold my purse.
Nah, she said, here, hold this. The knife. She took it out the purse. It was like, here, hold this for a second.
Hold this for a second. What the fuck?
She didn't trust you.
Hey, man,
I don't know.
Aye.
But so this is where we're at right now, everyone. and not making light of the situation. So we're sorry that you guys broke up and it didn't work out.
I'm making light of this shit.
But tell us where you're at right now. Because clearly it's a hotel. Tell us where you're at.
What's going on with Sliz today?
You want me to say that on camera?
I want you to tell us what the fuck is going on now. Because for everyone out there that was worried, everyone who knew about the chaos and fuckery, the posts, the social media, and people were like, so what's up with Walt now? How is he doing? And we like, he's fine. Walt, how fine are you?
Five of my closest friends upstairs, and 13 bitches and a whole lot of cocaine. We about to get livid. It's about to go down.
I didn't think you was going to say that.
Fine. Don't worry about me at all. I'm good.
So you have heard it. He's fine, everybody. He's fine.
What'd you say?
I said, don't let my mama see this shit, though. She gonna be mad about all the coke.
Your mama ain't thinking about this shit.
Listen, everyone.
So we found this nigga.
So we found him. He's good.
Good.
He's about to be better than good. No 24-hour or 48-hour episode coming your way unless this nigga get a hold of a bad batch and we gotta come identify himself tonight. That's a whole nother story.
Right.
But as Walt has told us on the podcast many times before, he can't, he won't, and he don't. His words exactly. And now we know exactly what that means. So I am happy that you're okay. I'm happy that you're smiling. Yeah. And trust and believe, bro. If when it's time for you to find the woman that you're looking for, it won't be such a fight. It won't be a daily fight. It'll be something that will come.
That's what we say. This shit been going on. This ain't the first one. Probably gonna be the last. This is gonna be the last one for the next 48 hours. Anyway, this gonna take a minute.
But listen, when you find her and we tell you Mexicans got on boots, you better believe that shit. That's the alarm. Mexicans got on boots. When we say that to you, you better run.
Understood. I'll do it.
Gotcha. Well, this has been the Urban Green Room Podcast. I'm your girl, AA.
I'm your nigga, T. Lewis.
And we have found Walt. So everyone, that's the story. We're sticking to it. And now you've heard his side of things. Thank you for being honest and giving us a little bit of transparency around this relationship. And this will be the first and the last time that we have to discuss it. So thanks everyone for tuning in, and we are out.
Thank you for tuning into the Urban Green Room Podcast. Let's keep the conversation going. Hit us up at urbangreenroom.net or on our Facebook or IG page.
I always follow them.
Tell us what you think about today's conversation. If there's a topic you want to discuss, let us know. And by all means, tell a friend. The Urban Green Room Podcast, giving you something to talk about. Until next time, we out.